It is time for some more wind. That is of the bird, the hawk. Hawk too. Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. I hope that you're doing well and having a wonderful rest of your day after you're done here. Today, we're going to move on into the next track, Warrior on the Edge of Time, not Walwia on the Edge of Time. We've listened to Magnu, which I really liked, so I figured let's just go ahead and back it up a little bit and get to these tracks here. So we're going to listen to The Wizard Blew His Horn, which is only about 2 minutes long, and let that lead into the next track, which is Opa-Loka, which I have no idea what an Opa-Loka is, but it is kind of fun to say Opa-Loka. Let's go ahead and Opa-Loka our way into Wizard Blew His Horn. We'll talk about it a little bit after. Here we go. Opa-Loka. Sounds like a city in Michigan or something. Or here.
The great helm barked, and the world turned white. The great helm sighed, and the forest died. The wizard blew his horn. The wizard blew his horn. The snow snake hissed, and the world turned round. The snow snake grinned in his fine, cold sin when the wizard blew his horn. The wizard blew his horn.
This would be kind of cool live.
The horse wept blood, and the earth it groaned. The tall horse reared from a lake of tears to seek a champion, to seek a champion. The world was bleak, and the earth it feared the wizard's horn of magic born. So it screamed for a champion, it screamed for a champion. The eagle laughed, and the world grew black. It stretched giant claws, and it snatched the law.
Genesis, Peter Gabriel area, and this will go
The champion stirred in sleep. Champion.
Is that champion's name Opa-Loka? Here we go. A little story, a little music. Even sounds like they're kind of breathing there. But maybe that's just me. Bass line, but I really like how strong and mellow it is with all the rest of the music coming around. And it's changing little by little, that bass line. texture of Mellotron is so subtle. When it's hit, has that panning. Obviously, it's leading into the next track as well. Let's just catch the transition. We have something to look forward to. Okay, so I love how it starts off. Obviously, this is all meant to be taken as a full listen. I know. All right, that aside, I love how it starts off with the first track, right? With Wizard blew his horn. You get some narration there. You get a little bit of a theatrical kind of re-entering, recentering after Assault and Battery and Golden Void, which, if I remember correctly, was the first songs that I listened to from Hawkwind ever. And I like how after that kind of epic beginning, you kind of slow down here with the narration, very, very legendary kind of speaking there. It's mystical and mythical and talking about this warrior and looking for this champion. Well, of course, the ambience kind of swirls around it. The crashes, the drums are very much like up front and center as that transitions into Opa-Loka, which this is just an instrumental space rock jam. And it feels good. This is definitely a zoning out kind of space rock jam. I love how Hawkwind can rock out with the best of them, but also provide these very interesting atmospheres. Not in this track specifically I'm mentioning, but like they can go into like a Pink Floyd kind of flavor at certain points. Or they can do like they're doing here and really, I feel, create their own brand of space rock. Like I haven't heard another band that I would say creates their brand of like rock, space rock, the way that they do. They just feel very unique unto themselves. And I think that this track, Opa-Loka, is like a perfect example of that. I love the bass line and how heavy and like subtle it is in the beginning, of course, as all the music fades in. But then as it grows into itself, it becomes a little bit more pliable. It begins to move around a little bit more, not just stay on the same 1, 2, 3 notes. It begins to kind of bounce a little bit. And all the music begins like satellites. Those sounds come in and begin to pan right, pan left. The drums even are panning as well. There's a lot of panning going on. You do not have to look in your kitchen because all the pans are right here. Please clap. but it is so fun to listen to. It's so enjoyable. Like you can really just get lost into this kind of track. And I like the aspect of all of the tracks so far, at least, and seemingly kind of just flowing together. Because this seems like an album that you just get lost in and just let it ride. Because you want to be on this ride with it as well. Love the little bit of Mellotron that I believe I'm hearing there as well. Very, very subtle in the back. I love the subtlety of it as well. That's actually another thing. The subtlety that they play with, I think, is masterful. They don't need everything to be right up front and center. No. Let the sound, let the space also be part of the sound. Let the emptiness be part of the music. Kind of like how Talk Talk would do so in their later years. All right, it's not many lyrics because Opa-Loka was instrumental. So let's go ahead and look at the horn here. The great hound barked and the world turned white. The great hound sighed and the forest died. The wizard blew his horn. The snow snake hissed and the world turned around. The snow snake grinned in his fine cold sin when the wizard blew his horn. Everyone's paying attention when this wizard blows his horn. The horse wept blood and the earth did groan. The tall horse reared from a lake of tears to seek a champion. The world was bleak and the wizard did fear. The earth did fear the wizard's horn of magic born. So it screamed for a champion, someone to rise up against the wizard. The eagle laughed and the world grew black. It stretched giant claws and it snatched the law. And the champion stirred in his sleep. The champion stirred in his sleep. He's waking up to come against this wizard. Now, I couldn't help but see. I could have kept you guys here. I couldn't help but see when I had the Wikipedia page pulled up here that this was not only the last album to feature Lemmy, but he was fired from the band one day before the album's release. I want to know like what led to that, especially at that critical moment. You know. Let's see. I'm just control Fing Lemmy here. He was also critical of Lemmy listening to the catalog of onstage problems with him, and he lives with that. Brock revealed he wanted Arthur Brown for the title role. That would be cool, and it would be a complete fantasy trip on every level. And if we did that, that would be the end of Hawkwind. The band gave the songs their debut on 2 British gigs, then headed to North America for a tour, during which Paul Rudolph replaced Lemmy. But like, I want to know like what led to that band reaction about this. Lemmy, the album was an F up from start to finish. That Opa-Loka was a lot of rubbish. I wasn't even on that. That was the drummer's thing, that track. We were kind of complacent anyway. If you have a hit album, you're complacent. And if you have 2, you are really in trouble. With them, they had 4 because they had In Search of Space before me. There's great stuff on all of them albums. The Golden Void was a beautiful track, but by then, I was well out of favor. I just want to know exactly like why was he let go like right before the album's release? That seems kind of harsh to me, you know. I mean, I'm obviously missing something, but that just seems a little harsh. Either way, it's a great track though. Let me know what you all thought of it in the comments below. I appreciate you watching and being here and listening to the music alongside with me, spacing out for a moment. Please enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all later. Bye, guys. Opa-Loka is still really fun to say. I am not lying to you. I was just scrolling really quick. I didn't even look down here. Opa-Loka obviously is an instrumental, blah, 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 blah. I'm just sitting here reading. Sometimes after I press the credits button, I sit here and read, right? Brother. Powell, who lived in Florida in 1970, named the piece after the place Opa-Loka. I said that it could have been a place in Michigan, and I also mentioned Florida. It's a city in Miami-Dade County. That looks kind of cool. Founded in 1926 by American aviator and industrialist Glenn Curtis, who was inspired by the Middle Eastern folktales of the 1001 Nights. As such, the city has the largest collection of Moorish revival architecture in the Western Hemisphere. That is so cool. That is really, really cool. Huh. Right in my own backyard, pretty much. All right. Bye, guys.